Water is a crucial resource in the history of civilization. It is also among the scarce resources in many countries around the world. The water tower of Africa, the source of Nile, the longest river in the world, a country prone to chronic drought and a shortage of electric power, Ethiopia. The people of this country have had a great ambition to build a dam in the Nile River, which was not realized due to several factors, especially from the external influence of the downstream countries. The time has come when Ethiopia officially launched the construction of Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam in April 2011 in the Benishangul Gumuz regional state at a place called Guba. Expansion of industries and universities was the main target of Ethiopian government in the past 10 years. The established institutions are now highly threatened due to shortage of electric power.
One of the most critical problems that we are facing is power. And we have voiced in a number of media channels and also for the general public. But still, the problem remains number one as far as our activity is concerned. Again, being a very new university, power is very critical for a number of accounts. To mention, we are doing a lot of construction activities, and construction is going on. Therefore, even to the extent we jumped into creating of smart classes, so that the teaching learning process could be supported by e-learning. Due to the power failure, which is actually so frequent, we cannot meet our objectives.
The main challenge is when the construction or the structure, there is less or almost there is no electric power.
Ethiopia has set 3 5-year phases of growth and a transformation plan aimed at transforming the country from a developing country to a middle-income country by 2025. The demand for energy is high to energize the growing economy of the country.
Basically, when agriculture developed, the economy will transform to industry will become the leading sector of the economy. That was the initial premise of ADLI. But when we see the reality on the ground, this was not happened. So instead of industry now, the service sector is becoming the leading sector. The Ethiopian economy is basically constrained by 2 factors. On the one hand, we have a high population growth rate. On the other hand, we have lower productive capital, lower base. Yeah. So, unless we have higher capital stock in order to increase the productivity of all sectors of the economy, it is difficult to boost the economy. So that the only option we have is we need to look at other opportunities to boost the economy. Unless the economy boosts and provides the required capital for development.
Under construction, Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is the largest hydropower project in Africa and the 7th largest in the world. The construction of this project is underway since 2011. This hydropower project has a primary objective to generate power so as to solve increasing power demand of the country.
Here behind me, we see the main dam, which is constructed by RCC or roller compacted concrete dam. This is the main dam. So this main dam is, as I said before, it is constructed by an RCC. We are constructing, or we are pouring the concrete around 8.5 million cubic meter. The total volume of the dam is 10.2 million cubic meter.
The dam impounds nearly 74 billion meter cube of water, and the expected annual energy to be generated from this plant is 15,700 gigawatt hour per year. So the main intention of this project is to generate electricity. It's nearly 8 to 15 kilometers from the border of Sudan. So there is in downstream, the water which is released by generating the required power directly goes to the basin. So the intention of this dam is mainly and purely for hydroelectric power generation.
Nile is a transboundary river which crosses 11 African countries. Blue Nile, which originates from Ethiopia, is the main tributary of Nile. Ethiopia has never benefited from this river, which originates in its own territory. Ethiopia contributes over 85% of water volume to the Nile River, yet this country has never built a hydropower plant on the Nile River before the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, whereas the downstream countries, including Egypt, which contributes 0% of water volume to the Nile River, are the role players of Nile hydropolitics. Without participating Ethiopia, the source of Nile River, the question of equitable and reasonable water share is still on the table. This dam is a game changer in the Nile hydropolitics. Ethiopia is one of East African countries with abundance of natural resources, but among the poorest countries in the world. Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is the center of Ethiopia's development strategy.
We are not yet able to utilize our natural resources as well as the human capital as well. The two most abundant natural resources in the Ethiopian context are land and unskilled labor. These are the two most abundant engaged in the agriculture. So that's why the policy text of ADLI is prepared by considering this potential. But we have also these natural resources. Most of these water, the rivers, are not utilized for irrigation purpose. Instead, most of them have a potential for hydroelectric than for irrigation purpose.
Percent of Ethiopians have access to electricity.
I didn't have any confusion about the potential. What matters is we have not tapped the potential. One, across different sectors, and also that not listening properly the customer's demand. Otherwise, we have a potential, even which will be enough, not only for our country, even we can generate income, foreign currency, by exporting the energy. And there was that kind of dream, actually. It's mentioned now and there, time and again, potential. For what? We have to really take some potential today, move forward, and give services and satisfy the general public, I mean.
The potential, it doesn't mean the access. Yeah? The potential is the potential that we can generate. Even we are not generating half of the potential that we have, even 1/4 of the potential we have, okay? We are not generating that much. Even we are now at 4,000 megawatt, yeah? So the potential is very big, and we are just generating few of the potential. Future demand, that because we are moving to industrialization throughout the country, we need to have more power supplies. And now we are working on not only in Dase project, but we have other projects coming soon before Dase inauguration. So, but definitely the role of Dase is the main role for the industrialization move of the country, and we will be committed enough and to finalize based on the timetable that we already defined these days.
This project planned to be a way out from poverty. It is a means to maintain fast-growing economy in the country. From above 100 million population of Ethiopia, over 85% is an agrarian society. and the agriculture system is predominantly rain dependent. The country has not brought economic transformation in the absence of industries. Recently, expansion of several industrial parks are underway in different regions across the country, like this one behind me at Bure town in Amhara regional state. But the power shortage is a bottleneck to run machineries inside these industrial parks. Expansion of electric power plants, including the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, is mandatory to transform the economy of the country through industrialization. The problem is because the agricultural products are exported without value addition, agriculture doesn't bring such a speedy transformation to change the lives of many farmers in Ethiopia. The remedy undertaken is to establish agro-processing industries in different regions across the country. This industrial plant where I am standing now aims at producing edible oil by collecting raw materials from the vicinity. The problem is satisfying enough power to run these big machineries.
A university in this country do also in addition to providing actually teaching and learning kind of activities, we do also give student services like cafeteria services, clinical services, and also dormitory services. This all requires power, but unfortunately, we have a very frequent and rampant power failure, which has actually created dissatisfaction in the face of our customers. I would say students, academic staff, and administrative staff. So power is still critical. Power problem is still critical.
The universities are providing a skilled labor force, particularly in different fields. So this is a human development will be achieved, so that we will have a skilled labor. Now we have unskilled labor. Instead of unskilled labor, we will have what? A skilled labor force. So this skilled labor force will attract domestic firms as well as foreign firms for industrialization process, so that the industrialization process will be facilitated.
The civil works in these hydropower projects are need to complete. The remaining works are electromechanical, which are found in the main dam.
The main dam is constructed on the Nile River, and the saddle dam is in the aerial distance around 6.5 kilometers from the main dam, which is used to accumulate or catch the water only. The performance is around 80 to 85% is completed, but electromechanical it will around 23 to 25%. So here, as you see, the civil work already finished.
The relation between the powerhouse and the main dam, now as you can see at the back, there are sections which been already blocked out for the penstock lying down. So in there, those blockouts, penstock will be welded and down to the extent to the powerhouse. So all the water coming from the dam will be pressurized and down come to the powerhouse. Then after it will be our means of generating electricity.
Ethiopians are looking for the speedy finalization of this project. The public participation in finalizing the project is very high. This man, resident of Debre Marcos in Amhara region, has bought Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam bond for 6 years, every month with 1,000 birr from his pension salary. Many others are contributing their share in the construction of the project. After the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam officially launched, almost all Ethiopians have contributed for the realization of this project, workers in the project sites are also recruited across the country from different regional states. In general, this dam is a fingerprint and it's also a flagship project of Ethiopia. Finalizing the project has an indispensable role to meet the growing power demand of the country. This will also help to ensure inclusive development through shared energy.
Government is attempting to fill this deficit or this market failure, we can say, so by constructing these industrial parks. These industrial parks again require to have electric power, so the dam is important to cover this electric power. Even the universities need to have a power.
Power is a very critical problem. So my plea is the government should really do a very special intervention. The Ethiopian Great Renaissance Dam, it was a plan for 5 years. Now we are jumped into, I don't know, 8 years, something else. And the general public contributed a lot on the belief that people will get something out of it. But I appreciate the progress, but the progress is not one would expect. So my little recommendation, maybe even big, is that there has to be a focus towards completing that important project, whatever it costs.
The construction of Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam has now reached a very decisive stage. The remaining part of electromechanical and hydromechanical works are the heart of this hydropower project, which enable to generate power, the ultimate goal of this project.
Now the Nile River is passed through the culvert boxes. Before, around before 6-7 years, we are diverting the Nile River by constructing the coffer dam. Then we prepare or we install the 4 diversion culverts around there. Then after that we redivert the river and we can construct the central part of the dam.
Ethiopian Electric Power Corporation is now working to compensate delayed times in the electromechanical works of Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. World-class contractors have already been signed a contract agreement with the corporation after mischief local contractors called METEC fired from the project.
The problem that was happened on the project was basically on the electromechanical and hydraulic steel structure project, part of the project. We call it the plant contractor side project. So because of this delay, the civil work is not progressing well. Knowing this, we as a government has tried to identify the main reasons for the delay. So the project management structure is corrected now. The contract management is already on board, and we are managing properly the project. All the subcontractors are now. They already engaged and started their job.
The already engaged and internationally reputable contractors for electromechanical and hydraulic steel structure works. These contractors are known, they are good performers in the past, and as well they are reputable throughout the world due to their performance.
The construction of Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is underway, sidelined with the negotiation of downstream countries.
Hydropolitics in the Nile River is a very complex thing. Nile by itself is very different and unique from other rivers which are transboundary river in the world. The main feature of Nile that makes Nile different from others is that Nile is shared by 11 countries, 11 riparian countries, and but also different topographic differences and others, and there are different trends in terms of population dynamics in the region. In the Nile Basin, population is increasing unprecedentedly. It is even more than
So the demand for
expected.
water is
Very high,
okay.
very high. There is high need of water for development, just for getting out of poverty. In international law, there are different rights, there are different laws, customary laws among those, and when we see 1929 and 1959 treaties, I cannot call them as treaties by themselves, because they are exclusive treaties which denies Ethiopia, which is providing more than 86% of the Nile water. That by itself is illogical. So the law which is composed of illogicality cannot be regarded as law. Therefore, that cannot be regarded as treaty. You cannot be abided by something in which you are not part of it.
A number of negotiations have been made, especially with downstream countries of Egypt and Sudan, since its construction was begun.
Any Nile framework, Egypt has to play not only an important role, but it has to play a leading role.
Egypt is the main concerned country in this hydropower project. The negotiation with Ethiopia and Egypt has took a number of debate platforms. These two countries have witnessed change of three heads of government since the dialogue has begun. The tone of this head of government is different from one another. The negotiation was highly set into tension during President Morsi of Egypt after a sabotage meeting of the president with politicians televised unknowingly.
واضح للحفاظ على أمننا المائي، لأن الأمن المائي يساوي بالنسبة لنا زي ما أقول موضوع حياة أو موت.
كذلك استخدام أوراق ضغط، مثل في هناك شعب الأورمو 35% من سكان أثيوبيا ولديهم جبهة تحرير اسمها جبهة تحرير أورمو، لأن الجبهة الداخلية لأثيوبيا في منتهى الضعف، جبهة هشة. وكذلك جبهة تحرير الأوجاديل يمكن دعمهم، وتعتبر دي ورقة ضغط على الحكومة الإثيوبية.
نقيم اتصال وتأثير مباشر وتدخل في الشأن الداخلي.
فأنا شايف إن إحنا ما عندناش غير محور بتاع إريتريا، الصومال، جيبوتي، وده كله شغل مخابرات بقى.
اجتماع ده سري ونقسم على ألا نسرب للإعلام أي كلمة فيه يبقى أحسن.
الاجتماع مذاع.
لو بيقول لي اجتماع مذاع على الهواء فأنا ما عنديش خطة سرية ولا حاجة. نقسم أنا ما عنديش خطة سرية، لكن اللي أنا هقوله ده بتعمله كل الدول واتقال.
قلتني من بدري.
بتعمله كل الدول اللي هي عندها مصالح إقليمية.
لكن هذا لا يمنع في المقابل أن تكون لنا أدواتنا ووسائلنا الجادة جدا في الحفاظ على كل قطرة من النيل. قطرة واحدة.
Equitable and reasonable water share is a center of dialogue for Ethiopia with the downstream countries. The dam has also immense benefit for downstream countries.
This project is a win-win project. Ethiopia is constructing this at her own expense, but the benefit goes to the downstream countries. But we have never requested the downstream countries, though they are getting a good share, a good benefit from the project, they are not even financing. But at least they have to support this project. Not only financially, I don't mean financially, but they have to consider that this project is a win-win project. Ethiopia has no intention to affect the downstream countries. So it is a win-win project. It will benefit the downstream countries as well. It will benefit Ethiopia. So at least they have to cooperate. They have to take in a good manner that this project is for all of us.
The negotiation points have been changing. Right now, you cannot really determine what exactly they need, what exactly they want, because right now when you see the current negotiation process, it looks like Egyptians are going back to 1959 and 1929.
As they call the historical right, yeah.
Yes, I cannot call them treaties, historical treaties.
Trilateral meetings have been undertaken to reach a consensus on the filling and operation of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. The third round of the negotiation was held in Khartoum, Sudan on December 11 and 12, 2019. The fourth trilateral negotiation was held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. This meeting held on January 8 and 9, 2020. In the first day of the meeting, ministers from the three countries spoke that they will reach a win-win negotiation.
There is a technical solution for a technical problem. The current negotiation, no matter how complex from the point of view of hydrology, potential occurrence of drought and flood, operation, challenge of lacking clarity on cooperation mechanism, we can surmount the problem if we genuinely put our minds together. From our past negotiation experience, our main challenges are too much interference of politics and indecisiveness that curtail advancement.
Egypt has already significant water shortage that reaches 21 billion cubic meters per year. This deficit is currently being addressed by extensive drainage and wastewater. Treated wastewater reuse. We recycle water with salinity up to 10,000 parts per million, which means that the Nile system in Egypt is being used at an overall efficiency exceeding 85%. I think there is a real opportunity to achieve progress in our meeting today and tomorrow in order to overcome these differences and hopefully to come out with a draft agreement for filling and operation of the GERD.
There is a lot of development opportunities to strengthen the regional cooperation for the benefit of our people without compromising the water security for any of our three countries. So let us work together for win-win solutions to all of us. Therefore, Sudan reaffirmed its commitment towards cooperation with regard to the initial filling and operation of the GERD.
However, in the fourth trilateral meeting, Egypt came with new proposals, and the meeting, which was supposed to be the final to reach an agreement, concluded with no consensus.
When you see the negotiation results, it seems that Egyptians came here to Addis Ababa just for negotiation only, not for seeking to reach to agreement. When you see the last negotiation, which was held in Sudan, in Khartoum, therefore they agreed already on the time for filling of the dam, which was between 4 years and 7 years. However, on the last negotiation, which was held in Addis Ababa, they came up with something which is really weird. So this means that they want no agreement at all.
Ethiopia, Egypt, and Sudan have been negotiating on the dam since November 2019 in the U.S., where the U.S. Treasury Department, World Bank being observer in the negotiation process. Those called observers are now pressurizing Ethiopia to sign a deal in favor of Egypt.
When I heard that World Bank is going to attend the negotiation process of the battle, I was really ridiculed. It is really ridiculous. World Bank is owned by United States and working for the interest of United States. Actually, this came after Egypt demanded the United States of America's government and World Bank to interfere to the negotiation process. The Egyptian government wanted this case, the dam case, for its own political game. The economy of Egypt is getting into crisis, and their youths are highly unemployed. So youths are demanding for change, not only economical but also political change. Therefore, in order to cover up internal problem of Egypt, the government wanted to make it more political so that they can divert the attention of Egyptians to the dam scale.
The U.S. State Department has recently expressed its stance that the negotiation should be finalized before Ethiopia starts filling water in the dam. The Ethiopian government did not accept this press release. Ethiopian Ministry of Foreign Affairs on the latest press conference stated that Ethiopia's proposal is on fair and equitable utilization of water.
የራሷን የተፈጥሮ ሀብት ተጠቅማ የኢትዮጵያን ህዝቦች ከድህነትና ከኋላ ቀርነት የማላቀቅ
The dam is under construction in order to bring out Ethiopians from poverty with Ethiopia's natural resource. As a result, despite Ethiopia's move towards using its natural resource, there are situations in which this dam should be built with proper consideration of avoiding its impact on lower basin countries. Based on this, starting from its designing stage to construction quality, environmental friendliness and others have been considered very well, and the construction goes in this way.
ከአካባቢ ጋር ያለው ዝምድና በአግባቡ ታይቶ ይሄን ሁሉ ግምት ባስገባ ሁኔታ እየተከናወነ ያለ ግድብ ነው። ተደራዳሪዎቹ ሶስቱ ሀገሮች ናቸው።
Negotiators are three countries. The government of America and World Bank has played a great role in being observer and facilitator. However, the situation has not yet reached to drag them to be negotiator and document maker. As we have observed, they are trying to bring legal documents on their side, while we are saying we owners of the issue can discuss on the issue. We said this is not correct.
ያየን ስለሆነ ይሄም ትክክል አይደለም የሚል ነገር አለ።
እንደ ውሃው 86% አመንጭ ሀገር በሃይድሮ ፓወር ትልቅ ፖቴንሻል እንዳላት ሀገር የመጠቀም መብታችን ሉዓላዊ መብት ነው።
It's our sovereign right as a country which contributes 86% for the Nile water and which has great potential on hydropower generating. There will be no one who will stand opposing this. When we do this, we strictly follow principles. We follow equitable and reasonable use of resources in which everyone accepts.
ሁሉም ሊጠቀምበት የሚችልበትን ፕሪንሲፕል ተከትለን ነው የምንሰራው። ሙሌት ላይ ከደረሰን እንሞላለን። ነገር ግን አጠቃላይ ሙሉ በሙሉ የመሙላቱና የአኑዋል ኦፕሬሽን በየአመቱ የምናደርገው ኦፕሬሽን
We will start filling the dam when the construction issue public. The negotiation will never be stopped. It will be continued.
ድርድሩም አልቆመም ይቀጥላል።
በግብጽ በኩልም ይሁን በአሜሪካ በኩል ቶሎ ስምምነቱን እንዲያልቅ የመፈለግ ሁኔታ አለ።
There is a tendency in America and Egypt side to end the negotiation too fast. We have difference on this. First of all, there are incompleted issues we should finalize. Secondly, the people of Ethiopia should be aware of the process we are holding on. It shouldn't be done too fast.
ሂደት ግልጽ በሆነ መንገድ እየተገነዘበው መሆን አለበት። እንደ በጥርፊያ መካሄድ የለበትም ብለን እናምናለን።
As far as I believe, Ethiopia should stick on the technical points and the scientific points. As far as possible, we have to depoliticize and we have to make it depoliticize the dam. Well, I don't suggest Ethiopia to go to mediation. The case is that if we have finished on the scheduled time, then that would have been favorable ground for us. It has its own positive impact on the negotiation process, so that can make us advantageous. Our point since 2011 is the question of justice.
The first Ethiopian hydropower plant on the Nile River is a key project to eradicate socio-economic miseries in the country. This dam is an engine for Ethiopia's economic growth.
This project it's an icon for us. It's an icon for the country. So irrespective of the shortage of foreign currency, irrespective of the financial constraints, the government is determined to finance this project. As of today, all the interim payments are updated. So there is no delay of payments. So the government is determined to finance irrespective of all the constraints. So what we as a project team, what we have to do is to deliver the project, to build the confidence of the government as well at large.
Ethiopia has set a plan to transform its agriculture-led economy into industry-led economy Expanding universities has also given due emphasis to produce skilled manpower capable of running industries. Both need electric power supply to be operational at their full capacity.
We have an ambition of transform the country. The question is how can we transform this country from A to Z? For me, for transformation or for development, the most important entry points for our development is one is power, the second is road, the third is actually the third important entry point is water from the physical resources. The fourth is the human resource, skilled and unskilled, and the management of the human resources. So, as to your question to the four factors, I give credit for power actually.
The construction of these dams will provide electricity to the householders. At the same time, they are important source of power for this industrialization process, particularly these industrial parks. So these industrial parks are basically government is simultaneously supporting the agriculture and the industry sector. So this is the intention of the government, so that because the economy is not yet transformed as it was supposed to be transformed, so that now government is complementing this by simultaneously constructing these industrial parks in different parts of the country. So these industrial parks have important role, particularly by creating employment opportunity for the labor force. Around 45 up to 50 million people are unemployed in this country, so that they seek employment opportunity, so that this labor force will be absorbed by these industrial parks. But to be functional, these industrial parks need to have power.
The Grand Renaissance Dam project replanned to be finalized in the coming 4 years.
We are confident that we are in the right track, and of all, what we have to do is we have to invite, as soon as we enter into a momentum where every contractor is moving, we'll bring the media people and as well figures of the country to the project site so that they can witness that this project is on the right track, and it will be so that they will develop their confidence that the project will be completed.
Upon the finalization of Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, it is planned to generate 6,450 megawatts. This will significantly solve the power demand of Ethiopia, which is increasing by 30% every year. In addition to the Ethiopia plan to export power to the neighboring countries, including the Nile Basin countries, this will create economic integration based on mutual benefits.
We will have projects coming up connecting Great Renaissance Dam to Sudan, and we'll have other additional networks coming up in the future, second line to Djibouti, and other networks also to nearby countries in the future. Now, we are also working on Kenya. We have a connection to Kenya, and it will be completed in the next 1.5 year time. So we'll have also other additional newcomers, like Eritrea will come, South Sudan will come, Somalia will come, and others. So the ongoing projects are now this time, Kenya project is running up. So the other projects will come soon.
The construction of the dam is basically important not only for Ethiopia, but also for the downstream countries. So they will benefit because the cost of producing electric power is very cheap in Ethiopia compared to the other countries. So Ethiopia has a comparative advantage of producing electricity and selling to the neighboring countries. On the other hand, Ethiopia is a landlocked, so that it can sell this electric to cover its port fee for Sudan, for example, or other countries. So the country can use this foreign exchange for this purpose. So that the most important thing is The geographic location of Ethiopia provides the country a comparative advantage to produce electricity in the lowest cost.
Millions of dollars from domestic sources have been invested in the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. Thousands of people have been participating in the construction. With all this struggle, the project expected to be finalized in 2022.
The government is determined. We have engaged already reputable contractors. So we are confident that the project will come back to its track.
Workers in the project site are committed to serve for the realization of Ethiopians' long dream.
Everyone is passionate to work and to perform. So I believe not only the one who is out there, also the one we are working on the job, also on the site also, we are passionate and to see the result of GRDP. So for that one, everyone is struggling and everyone is trying to do what is being expected from him.
We are committed because we want to see what the project, how the project is finished. We want to see the generating power